All right, let's dive right in. We're going to tackle a massive question that so many entrepreneurs around the world are asking. How in the world do you build a US business when you don't actually live there? For a lot of people, it's the absolute key to scaling up globally, but it can feel, well, super intimidating. So let's break down how it's not just possible, but actually way simpler than you might think. You know the dream, right? Running a business that doesn't care about borders. The whole point is to reach clients anywhere, to operate on a truly international scale, and to stop letting your physical location hold you back. It's all about tapping into that global market. So this is the big one. Can you really, truly set up a proper US business? Get access to the world's largest market without ever setting foot there? What used to feel like this huge, impossible barrier is now completely doable. The answer is a definite yes. But hang on, before we get to the solution, it's really important to get what the problem is. Entrepreneurs who are operating from outside the US face these really specific and honestly super frustrating hurdles that can just stop your growth dead in its tracks. And these challenges are incredibly common. It doesn't matter if you're a freelancer, a SaaS founder, or you sell products online, you've probably hit these walls, right? Getting access to big payment platforms can be a nightmare. Building trust with US clients is just harder when you don't have a US entity. And sometimes it feels like you're fighting an uphill battle just to get your foot in the door of the global market. So, we've laid out all the problems. But here's the great news. There is a powerful, elegant, and believe it or not, a really simple solution that just cuts right through all that complexity. It puts you on a totally level playing field. And that solution is the United States LLC, which stands for Limited Liability Company. Now, I want you to think of it as more than just some legal thing. It's literally your key to unlocking a global business. That limited liability part, it just means your personal stuff, like your house and car, are protected from business debts. For anyone who's not a resident, it is by far the most direct and effective way to get a credible footholds in the US market. An LLC directly takes care of all those problems we just talked about. You instantly gain international credibility, you unlock access to US-based payment platforms like Stripe, it makes onboarding new clients so much smoother, and you get a legitimate legal structure in the US, which just blows the doors wide open for future expansion. Okay, so right about now, you might be thinking, this sounds like a bureaucratic nightmare. And look, if you try to do it all yourself, it can be complicated. But the reason so many founders use services for this is to let someone else handle all that complexity, making the whole setup surprisingly simple for you. The whole thing basically breaks down into 3 simple steps. First is the company registration itself. Second, you apply for something called an EIN, or Employer Identification Number. Think of it as a tax ID number that you'll need to open a US bank account. And third is managing the ongoing compliance, things like having a registered agent and filing annual reports, just to keep your company in good standing. This whole process lets you focus on what you do best, actually running your business. So what about the timeline? That's a question everybody asks. From the very beginning to the very end, you can have your US business completely formed and ready to go in just 40 to 60 days. So yeah, in less than 2 months, your global business can be a reality. So who is this really for? Who stands to benefit the most from setting all this up? Let's get specific, because while it's a powerful tool for a lot of people, it is an absolute game changer for a certain type of global entrepreneur. This solution is a total game changer for so many people. We're talking about freelancers who want to look more professional, SaaS founders who desperately need access to US payment gateways, or e-commerce brands targeting the American market. Really, it's for any service provider anywhere on the planet who's ready to operate on a global stage. Let's just end on this thought because it really gets to the core of what this is all about. This process isn't just about paperwork and legal stuff. It's about fundamentally changing your business's potential and how the world sees it. You're not just starting a company here, you're building a global identity. And the only question left is, are you ready to build yours?